Yeah, I'm doing Star Trek 2 as well. Khan's Vengeance. Oh, no. It should have been called Khan's Vengeance. But instead it was called Into Darkness. Why? Because you didn't want to give it up. You didn't want to do the reveal too quickly, right? You didn't want people to think. You want people in the theater going, it's Khan! But this movie is way better. Way, way better than the first one. And some people say, like, sometimes the sequels are better. And this is definitely the case. First of all, you could tell just from these stills from the movie, a lot of fantastic visual effects and situations. You know, that opening sequence, I really like the opening sequence because it comes in like at the climax of a Star Trek episode, right? And it's like Kirk and McCoy are trying to sneak and get these people away from the volcano, and Spock's at the volcano trying to stop the volcano without revealing to them that they're affecting, you know, this primitive culture. All right, the Prime Directive and all that. And like them running through this red forest and stuff like that, and those white-skinned people, and then Spock, you know, the volcanoes going off around him, and willing to give up his life, willing to give up his life for the mission and for the secrecy of the mission to protect the Prime Directive. And that's why I like Spock, is like that guy is committed 100%. And and of course you got Uhura being a badass. And she's henpecking Spock a little bit in this, where they had that argument about, you didn't think about us when you were at the volcano. I was like, oh, God, we don't need that. And the audience, as the captain, is stuck in that argument. It's like, we don't have to have this conversation. All right, so, yeah, it should have been called Khan's Vengeance or something like that. And speaking of Khan, his plan was brilliant. It really was good. And I think that's very important for every single movie when you have a bad guy. It's like you have to have a villain that has a very competent plan. And he sure did. And, you know, I love when the antagonist gets way out ahead of the protagonist, because, you know, it creates a sense of urgency. You know, it creates a sense of tension. It's what some people would call good writing. So, yeah, like I mentioned, I love Scotty in these movies, and I particularly love Scotty in this one. The one scene where they're bringing all these torpedoes aboard, and if you know the movie, you know what they actually are. They're bringing the torpedoes aboard, and Scotty has to do an inspection. That's his duty. It's like, I have to inspect these proton torpedoes. These are the rules. These are my duties and my requirements. I'm going to do it. And they're saying, it's classified. You can't look inside them. So Scotty's under protest. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not signing for these torpedoes until I inspect them. So he ends up resigning from Starfleet. It's a sad moment, but I gotta give it to you, Scotty. You know, standing up for your principles. That's, you know, that's what makes a hero. And that's why I love it. I love it. It's very get fired, get in trouble, be brave, and never stop fighting of you. Even though I don't agree with Scotty's philosophy about the purpose of Starfleet. All right? Because he's sitting there, even in that conversation, making an argument. I thought we were explorers, not war fighters. And it's like, dude, do you even know how stupid you sound? You know that Romulans exist, right? You know that Klingons exist, right? And you just want to fly around the galaxy, flowers in hand, say, hey, man, we just want to look at stuff. Is that cool with you? You know, and what do you think the Klingons think of us? What would you think the Klingons think of us? What? You want to just fly around and look at something? Yeah, we totally haven't seen a star like this before, man. And this is what you and your species like to do with your time, is it? Kill them and throw them out of our system. I'm forgetting the name of the Klingon homeworld. Kronos? It's in there somewhere. All right. And so how do you think they look at it? To them, like our entire species are soy boy betas. You know what I mean? So you can't You can't think of Star. This is the whole philosophy of Star Trek is what I have issue with. It's like, oh, we're explorers, we're diplomatic ships. And it's like, no, you got to be warfighters if there's people going to war with you all the time. Don't put civilians on the ship too. God, no wonder they want war with us. We look like wusses. All right. Leonard Nimoy, of course, had to make another cameo. God rest his soul, I understand, but he showed up to say, well, I once made a vow that I would never violate the Prime Directive or get in the way of your destiny and your own timeline. That being said, Khan Noonan Singh is the most crazy badass we've ever seen in our entire lives. You should watch your asses. All right. And they should, because Khan is an excellent villain. And I'm glad they got a good actor. Benedict Cumberbatch. Good actor. But, it's irritating, the irony from the opening scene where the young Spock has an argument with Kirk about violating the Prime Directive in that opening scene. And then at the end, in the middle or whatever, right before the third act, that's when old Spock goes, I know I shouldn't violate the Prime Directive, but here's the cheat codes to win the game. Anyway, yeah. I'm trying to understand what too many Trekkies kissed his hippie ass. I think I'm talking about Leonard Nimoy. Yeah. Okay. Star Trek Into Darkness, 2013 movie. 9 of 13 stars. Much better. Much better. I have seen the third one. I'm not going to talk about it today.